In Movies and Money, the Oscars are coming up on Sunday night. Joining us now is our film critic, Erik Childress, founder of the Movie Madness podcast. Erik, before we get your annual Oscar predictions, let's talk business. Did Dune Part 2 live up to expectations for Warner Brothers?
In a way, yes, Angie. Warner Brothers was certainly pinning its hopes by estimating the film was going to pull in at least $80 million over last weekend, and it made $82 million. And what was a bit unreported was how Dune Part 2 had a worldwide debut of $182 million when Part 1 began with $223 million. Now, the film does not open in Japan and China for a few weeks, but the domestic haul was more than double what Part 1 made back in 2021 during the pandemic, when the film was also available for streaming. Now, that may have raised a few concerns of Warner Brothers, who will be keeping a sharp eye on this weekend's grosses and see if it takes the large drop that Part 1 did, despite very little competition. Now, the $82 million goes a long way to suggesting that it is headed for a $200 million domestic haul.
Another popular franchise brand kicks off in theaters this weekend. Here's a look at Kung Fu Panda 4.
Being the Dragon Warrior, it's who I am. Skittish. What do I know about being a spiritual leader?
What is it you're holding?
A cookie?
You were chosen to become something more than you already are.
Will the panda steal the top spot from Dune?
I'd be surprised if it didn't, Angie. One thing I hear a lot about is the sheer lack of family offerings that are out in theaters. Of course, if you put out too much, they get stretched thin and you have failures, but Wonka and Migration have combined for about $900 million worldwide since opening right before Christmas, and that's been about it for families. So now they get the fourth Kung Fu Panda film, and it should do pretty well. There has certainly been diminishing returns domestically with both their openings and final numbers since the original was launched back in 2008, but the first three movies all grossed over $500 million worldwide during their runs. If the diminishing returns continue with this one, we could see an opening in the high 30s, but maybe the lack of family titles could boost that into the 40s. Either way, I think a big drop on Dune will pave the way for the Panda to lead the way this weekend.
And now, the Oscars. Who do you believe will walk away with golden statues? I'm hearing praises for Oppenheimer and still some sting from the lack of Barbie nominations.
Well, it's certainly going to be a big night for Oppenheimer, which I believe is going to walk away with 7 Oscars, including Best Picture, Christopher Nolan for Director, Cillian Murphy for Actor, and Robert Downey Jr. for Supporting Actor. Though I am not ruling out some victories for Barbie either. I think we'll see Billie Eilish pick up her second Oscar for Original Song, and Barbie possibly getting Production Design. It is between that and Poor Things for that category and Costume Design. But I also believe that the Academy may award Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach the award for Adapted Screenplay after seeing it moved from the original category where everyone was awarding it during the season. That will at least make up a bit for that director snub, and hopefully we will see a second year in a row where a woman wins this award after Sarah Polley did last year for Women Talking. Finally, in the other major categories, I think Anatomy of a Fall is going to win Original Screenplay over The Holdovers, though Alexander Payne's film will deservedly see Divine Joy Randolph win for Supporting Actress after winning every major award during the season. And finally, Lily Gladstone could become the first Native American to win an Oscar, and I think she will for Best Actress for Killers of the Flower Moon. Oppenheimer will be dominating the evening, but if these predictions come true, there will be a lot to celebrate come Sunday night.
Some great films during the past year. I wish The Boys in the Boat had more nominations. We'll see what happens. Thank you, Erik.
Thank you, Angie.
Go to businessfirstam.com for where to see our show on TV.